In the beginning, God worked. God created the earth, everything in it, the heavens and the earth. And then he created man to work the earth, just as God had worked. He created man and male and female, Adam and Eve, and he gave them dominion over the earth. He created them in the image of God so that they would reflect him and that they would represent him on the earth, to work the earth, to cultivate the earth, to bring out its potential and to glorify it by their labors. And he did so that they would do this together, that they were designed as husband and wife to work together on this task so that the family would be an institution for taking dominion. But in the modern world, we have a certain philosophy which has some strengths but also can distort this image of the world as God created it. This idea, this way of thinking is driven commercially, that sees work as defined by the wages it receives, as defined by the money you get for doing it. And even so much so that it's not really counted as work unless you get paid for it. You know, if you sing to yourself, that's not work. If you sing to your friend, that's not work. But if you are paid to sing, then it's work. See how it's defined by the money it gets. And furthermore, you work to get money, to spend it, to consume. And we lose out on doing stuff for ourselves. Now again, there's strengths to that, there's certain efficiency to that, specialized labor, but it also, when taken to an extreme, can distort several things. First of all, it distorts the family. The family in this system is reduced to just an area of consumption. We go out, we do our work, we get our money, and we buy stuff and consume them together. And that's actually the better case. Often, because our focus on individual desires and customization, usually we just consume on our own. It's hard enough to get families to eat together and to watch movies together, but even there, we're just consuming. Whereas a wife was made as a helpmeet, had a task that they would work together to do something productive. And so it starts to distort the family and what it was intended to do, that it was intended to give and take, to do things together and for each other, not merely to receive together or even receive separately. It also distorts non-commercial community, like a neighborhood or like a church, where there's a natural give and take as you have relationships with people. But that's now devalued. That doesn't produce money. That's not real work. And it also encourages a consumerist mentality. You go to church to receive things, to have things, to go with a passive mindset rather than one of activity. It also can distort work, reducing it again just to what it pays and devaluing work, such as a stay-at-home mom who might not get paid but is doing a very important work, providing things for the family. Whereas work, as it was created by God, has many things that dignify it and give it meaning and significance. Work is a way in which we imitate God. It is a way in which we imitate His work, His creativity, developing things with wisdom and craft. It's a way that we exercise dominion over the earth, that we cultivate it, bring out its potential. And this is a delightful process in many cases when we can see this responsible stewardship being taken. It's a way that we serve the Lord, that as we work in our callings, fulfill our responsibilities in our station, that not just in the money that we get for it, but the very work itself is service to God. It's a way that we love others. Again, not just with the money that we get and can use that to love others, but the very work we do is for the service of others, can benefit others. And we should see that as part of the meaning of our work. And we should also see our work as something that can give delight, can increase our own well-being. If we're without work, we lose motivation, we lose meaning, we lose quite a bit. Again, I'm not reducing work to just what you get paid for. I'm including things like singing songs to yourself, writing a poem, or praying. There's a lot of activities you can do even if you're, restricted from fulfilling a job in the workplace. In addition, of course, providing for yourself and your household is an important task of work. So I'm not saying don't get a job and get paid. Certainly those are important things. But again, you can do stuff for yourself or do stuff to get paid to get stuff for yourself. And we shouldn't let the society we live in distort our view of work, reduce it down to its commercial value, and lose out on the non-commercial community that we have with family, with friends, relationships that we have and we treasure. And most importantly, our relationship to our God and Father, whom we serve through our work and also whom we imitate. And we fulfill our created nature by working in this God-created earth.